Okay, this order, it's a wonderful order. It's a beautiful order. This order is pulling American booze off the liquor mart shelves.
Well, that was the order you saw from Premier Kinew. A giant Canadian flag was also draped over the Manitoba legislature, and American booze has been removed from all shelves at liquor stores, and there's some countermeasures to U.S. tariffs made in our province. Let's go now to Premier Kinew. Good morning, Mr. Premier.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So it was a little tongue-in-cheek, that Instagram post of you signing that order. You got lots of reaction.
I think everyone knows the reference that we're making there. And there's just so much uncertainty. There's so much stress. People are worried about what's going to happen with jobs and the economy. And we're going to be there to protect jobs and stand up for our economy. But at the same time, we got to have a sense of humor. You know, that's kind of who we are as Manitobans and Canadians. So in the midst of a very turbulent day, challenging times, we're also just trying to send a message of some reassurance and just having a bit of a sense of humor too.
And Manitobans are happy to see that giant Canadian flag as well.
It's great. I hope people come down to the legislature. Thank you to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers for lending us their amazing flag. So again, everyone's coming together, showing that unity. Everyone's feeling patriotism, feeling that Canadian pride. So along the way that you're buying local, supporting Manitoba business, standing united against this tariff threat, you know, we got the flag out at the ledge. You can take a selfie in front of and, you know, maybe send your own message about Canadian pride.
Well, let's talk about some of the tax deferrals that you promised yesterday as well. How will that be? How will that roll out?
Well, the main idea here is let's let businesses keep cash on hand so that they can keep people working, so that they can protect our jobs here in Manitoba. So basically, starting with the February tax period, and we're going to look at the first 3 months and basically just reassess at the end of 3 months. Those provincially collected taxes on business don't need to be paid for that period for now. They'll need to be paid at a later date, but really it's just allowing businesses to keep money and keep cash in their bank accounts, so to speak, so that they can keep paying people's paychecks and that they can keep people working in the community. You know, one of the things that we want to see right now is protection for our jobs. Like I was saying off the top, a lot of uncertainty right now, a lot of talk today. The Prime Minister and the President are going to speak. Is there going to be some kind of deal? What kind of deal? We don't know the answer to these questions right now, but one thing that we can do, let's just take some steps to make sure that businesses can keep the lights on, can keep people working, keep people's paychecks hitting those bank accounts.
But the fact that there is even dialogue between our Prime Minister as well as U.S. President Donald Trump is a positive sign.
It's always good when we're talking. Nobody likes this situation. It's totally unnecessary. We have this trading relationship with the U.S. because we've been good friends over the years, and everyone has agreed every step of the way. It's not like, you know, America wasn't asking for this trade relationship over the past decades, right? They were cheering it on too, just as much as Manitobans are. But now that we're in this situation and maybe, you know, Donald Trump has kind of backed himself into a corner, he needs a way out, then yeah, let's negotiate and see what we can get. But again, the main thing, we got to protect our jobs, protect our economy. So we're going to be talking to the states, and hopefully we get some kind of deal there. But at the same time, we got to start to diversify. We got to look at other options for our economy here too.
Well, let's talk about those interprovincial barriers. There is an announcement happening today. What can you tell us about that?
Well, that is one of those ways that we look to diversify our economy and just have more resilience, more Trump-proofing of our economy here, interprovincial trade. So people probably hearing a lot about this. If you're wondering what it is, so one example of an interprovincial trade barrier is right now in Manitoba, you could order online direct-to-consumer alcohol, meaning you could go online, you could buy a bottle of wine from the Niagara region, from British Columbia, what have you. But not everyone in all the other provinces could order something that's brewed in Manitoba or distilled in Manitoba, so it puts our businesses at a disadvantage. And we got great local breweries, great local distillers here. So those are the sort of trade barriers that we're looking at. Today, the plan is, along with the federal government and other provinces, we're going to be putting out a statement in terms of here's the barriers that we've taken down, and here are the plans to remove some of the other ones going forward. And again, while we're trying to work on a deal or a relationship with the U.S., at the same time, we're looking inside Canada at the other provinces and territories. how can we drum up more business opportunities here at home.
Okay, let's talk about the spring budget, because that is also coming.
Yep.
There was a talk of potentially 2 budgets based on whether or not the tariffs will come into play. What can we expect from that?
Well, the budget is being prepared. It'll come out later this month, which we've shared previously before. And we have been preparing our overall budget with basically, here's the contingency plan if tariffs get put into place. Now that tariffs are here, that's basically the scenario that we're working with. Again, maybe if the tariffs get removed, we'll be able to change our budget plans a little bit more to the upside. But the main purpose of this budget is going to be to build up our province. So what can we do to invest in infrastructure, invest in the economy, to make sure that even if we're dealing with turbulence down south, we're still making sure that there's money circulating in our economy here in Manitoba, keeping people working, creating good jobs, and just making sure that we move forward in a good way for everybody.
On SNL on Saturday, Mike Myers said, "Elbows up, Canadians." Is that what you're calling for Manitobans to do?
We definitely are a nation of hockey players, so I think everybody hears that elbows up call, and I think, you know, again, Team Canada showed at the Four Nations Cup, like, we don't start the fights, but if, you know, that situation prevents itself, Canadians, Manitobans never back down from a good scrap, and you only have to ask Matthew Tkachuk about that.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Premier, for your time again today.
Thanks for having me.